of the rich people that I've seen in my life or have met, the tech people are by far the creepiest.
Absolutely.
And their intentions are by far the worst. I don't think they care, not only about America, I don't think they're fans of humanity.
Totally.
You shouldn't get so crazy rich that you go, how do I terraform another planet? It shows you the emptiness of money, which it is. Life is not about having lots of money. What Elon has done, I think, has exposed that there is no amount of money that you can give a human being where they won't Heil Hitler for kicks.
All right, so it looks like some of Joe Rogan's closest comedy friends have been trashing Elon Musk, which I'm sure is making Joe really uncomfortable because obviously he's like one of the biggest Elon simps out there. And now a big part of his podcast is him just doing damage control and PR for Elon. But, you know, even with all the glazing and ass kissing Joe does, it's still not enough for Elon. And I'm sure he gets annoyed that Joe doesn't tell his friends to stop making fun of him. Like, Joe's got to be nervous about his comedy friends going too hard on him and upsetting him and ruining their friendship, because I'm sure Joe knows Elon is really sensitive. I mean, recently the guy almost started crying because people were trolling him while he's playing video games. And then he needed all his simps to tweet about it and help him get sympathy by acting like he just got horrifically bullied while playing video games. It's so funny. And also at the end of last year, Elon, he started begging people to post more positive content on Twitter because he couldn't handle how much he was getting made fun of. But obviously that didn't work. So then a week later, he changed the algorithm to promote more positive content, even though I don't think that really worked either. But Joe obviously knows Elon doesn't handle getting made fun of very well. I mean, Joe was just on Kill Tony, and they had on Kyle Dunnigan, who was impersonating Elon. And Joe looked like he was thinking, man, I hope Elon doesn't get offended by this. Because I'm sure Elon's already constantly coping over Tim Dillon making fun of him. I mean, Tim's been trashing him like crazy, which Joe has to be stressed about. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Elon complains about this to Joe, because obviously he gets offended very easily, and Tim has just been roasting the shit out of him. So since Joe's good friends with Tim and has him on the podcast all the time, I'm sure Elon has tried to get Joe to tell Tim to stop making fun of him.
Legalize comedy. Yeah.
What kind of truck would Blade Runner drive? That was the design idea.
I mean, this is the problem with these people. What kind of truck would Blade Runner drive? I mean, we're just handing the whole entire world over to like fucking nerds and freaks. First of all, the Cybertruck's disgusting. We can all kind of admit that. It's a heinous looking car. They explode. They go into trees and they explode and stuff. They're not good. Look, they don't look dignified or classy on the road. I don't know who that appeals to. Now, I understand there's man-children out there that want to fly rockets to Mars because they can't fly their penis into a vagina. But I'm telling you right now, this is the grossest and cringiest shit anyone has ever seen in a very long time. And also, he's a guy that believes that we have to go to Mars and merge with AI and no longer be humans. And no one seems to question that. I don't think populism, as has been described, includes merging with machines and going to Mars. This isn't a movie where the movie ends with Elon putting you on his spaceship and going to Mars. You're not going to Mars. I'm sorry about that. These people are also the elites, which people talk about the elites, and I've talked about it myself. Because the elites are completely out of touch, but these elites are also out of touch. It's also out of touch to think that the biggest issue is let's go to Mars. Go talk to a working family that can't put food on the table. See how many times they mention Mars. I don't know why it's happening. And I disagree with close friends of mine who think Elon Musk is the savior of this is Jesus. If Jesus came back, he'd be Elon Musk. He'd come through South Africa and design cars that don't need gas. And buy X. The guy's a billionaire who wants to go to Mars, and normal people are going, what the fuck is this? I can't get a knee operation.
So Tim and Joe have completely different opinions on Elon, and Tim might have been referring to Joe at the end there. But it's just hilarious because Joe spends so much time defending Elon and praising him as much as he possibly can to make him happy. So he keeps coming on the podcast and hanging out with him. But now Rogan's comedy friends might start to ruin that for him because they're kind of negating all the positive PR Joe does for him. And I'm sure Elon's pissed about it. And this is also kind of exposing how Joe will do anything to defend him. It doesn't matter how delusional it makes him look. I mean, like with the salute Elon did at Trump's inauguration, seeing how Rogan reacted to that compared to how all his comedy friends reacted, it shows how far gone he is, because most of Rogan's comedian friends seem to think Elon did a Nazi salute, or at least looked just like one. And it sounds like Elon's response to the controversy made them believe that theory even more, because he acted like it was completely ridiculous to think it looked like one. So some of Rogan's comedy friends are like, he's just trying to gaslight us here. This is crazy. And Elon also never even denied doing it. He's just like, again, with the Nazi stuff. But of course, you know who did deny it for him? Joe Rogan. Of course, he'll jump at any opportunity to defend Elon and embarrass himself. And it's funny, he said people only believe it was a Nazi salute because it fits their narrative. But it sounds like most of his friends believe that, and it kind of goes against their narrative. I mean, Shane Gillis, his reaction was like, I know I'm supposed to defend that, but that's a tough one. And it seems like most of Rogan's comedian friends mocked Elon for it, and they thought his response to it was also really bad. So I give them credit here for having their own opinions and not just going along with what they know Rogan would want them to say, because this also just shows how Rogan will shamelessly defend anything Elon does, even if it makes him look completely ridiculous.
But all these people on Twitter are just chiming in saying it's clearly a Nazi salute. He's doing a Nazi salute. Yeah. No.
So dumb.
All this gesture means is Heil Hitler. This is all this gesture means.
It's so dumb.
It's not clearly.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole thing's crazy. But that's a sign of the times, and they couldn't help it. They saw a thing, and they're like, this is the thing. We're going to run with it.
But tossing a fucking...
Yeah, that was crazy, though. That's not that much.
That's not
at
even
an inauguration.
You can't do that at a political rally.
And then being like, oh my God, enough with the Nazi stuff, dude. It's like, that was wild.
That was a close one.
Fascism is real, folks. Here it is. My heart goes out to you.
My love goes out to you. I'm sorry, I'm autistic. I'm autistic. I didn't know what this is.
My heart goes out to you. It's just weird. It's illogical and weird.
He was throwing his heart to the fucking... Dude, the justification that fucking people have done. He was fucking... Dude, you didn't let him finish. He was turning it into a wave. He was throwing his heart to the world.
This thing that is a real problem in today, where people will pretend something is something other than what it is if it suits their narrative.
Right.
And that's what this is.
Yes.
You got to go, hey, that looks a lot like some Nazi shit. I'm not going to lie. I should probably not do that in the future. Got a little too excited.
Everyone is Hitler attack is so tired.
Yeah, that's
No. It's not everyone's Hitler. It's the guy that in front of a crowd goes like that. You stop gaslighting him. This is what Democrats do. Now you've become the Democrats.
And I bet Elon thought all these guys would be defending him because he saved free speech and legalized comedy, so they owe him. You know, like whenever Rogan has him on, he's like, man, where would we be without you? So Elon probably thinks he saved comedy or something. Like, the guy's clearly delusional, and he desperately wants people to think he's funny and cool and edgy. But some of these comedians like Shane Gillis and Tim Dillon just think he's out of his mind and needs an intervention or something. Like Tim, he keeps talking about how Elon's ketamine addiction is out of control. And Shane, he heard about Elon's video game lying and was freaked out by it.
I mean, it's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme. And it's pretty much what's happening, you know?
Oh, boy. This is not good. I got to be honest with you. I don't think this is good. But there's got to be a way to present this where he seems less high. I've said that to my friends. Can you just seem less high? I'm not saying don't be high. Just don't like tweak out in front of people. I used to be really fucked up all the time. We need a dad to come, like, to just go, hey man, here's the reality. You're out of control right now. You're absolutely out of control. And we need that. But this is a dad who himself is a little out of control, I think. I think you come home and you see dad with sunglasses and a chainsaw and you go, my dad's is going through something. Like, this is like a dad where you would tell your friends before you brought them into your house, my dad's going through something. We don't know what it is, but he's going through something. But we need somebody who's sober.
You know what politically got me fired up?
What?
What's the video game Elon Musk says he plays? Did you hear he lied about that?
What?
He's like, he's not even that good at it. He was cheating. He had somebody else playing for him. He was video game lying.
That's
psychotic.
really weird. Yeah.
If that's true, I don't know the story.
Yeah.
If it's true that Elon Musk is video game lying,
Video game
that's
lying.
fucking weird.
Okay.
And the funniest thing is Elon bragged about the gaming score he's lying about on Rogan's podcast. And Joe, of course, was all impressed by it. That's how big of a cuck he is. You know, he doesn't care if Elon lies right to his face and makes him look like an idiot. As long as he keeps coming on, he's not going to say anything about it. It's honestly pathetic. Like, Rogan has no spine at this point. And I guarantee a lot of his comedy friends know this and make fun of him for it behind the scenes. Like, how could you not if you're a comedian? I mean, a lot of them make fun of Elon fanboys, and Joe's one of the biggest fanboys. Like Tom Segura just the other day on Two Bears, he had on Kyle Dunnigan, and they were reacting to his Elon impression. And then Tom started talking about how Elon desperately just wants to be liked and wants people to think he's funny and all this stuff. And then they also mentioned how he tweets all day and always responds to haters. Like, somehow he has the time for that. And then Tom's like, yeah, and it's also crazy to me that he has so many super fans. Like, how are you a massive fan of that?
It's so fascinating that somebody who is, you could argue, is objectively the most successful person on earth.
Yeah.
And you go, I guess they're bored of that. Because now it's just like, I want to be liked. And also be told that I'm funny.
Yeah.
I want to be I don't want to just be like, what I have isn't enough. I want people to tell me I'm a genius, tell me I'm cool.
Yeah.
And know that I'm funny and cool. It's such a...
Really, and he has like an 8-year-old sense of humor, which is funny. It's like his cars fart. Like that's what an 8-year-old would do.
He's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes a fart sound. My car's flying around Uranus.
But it is a really interesting personality.
Yeah.
And I always am fascinated by someone who has time for bullshit, like the pettiness, where you're like, like if you send enough tweets about Jeff Bezos or something, like, he's never going to respond to you. Carlos Slim's never going to be like, oh, you're making fun of me. But it gets on Elon's radar where and like he'll strike back at someone. I'm like, how are you not too busy?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is he tweets so much. If that was my only job was to tweet, I would be exhausted. Yeah. And then he's got 6 more multi-billion-dollar companies. I almost don't believe that.
And the other weird thing is the amount of fanboys. Like, the amount of people who are like, I'm a huge, like, their bio line is like, Elon's I'm like, this is who you're a super fan of?
Yep.
And obviously Tom isn't thinking of Rogan there, but Rogan is one of the biggest Elon fanboys. And I mean, his job at this point is basically to make Elon seem funny and cool. And it's painful to watch. It's so funny. When Joe's on comedians, he'll miss every joke they make, or he doesn't find anything funny. He'll have to do his fake laugh. But then when Elon makes some stupid joke that he's probably already made 1,000 times on Twitter and Joe's probably already heard it, Joe still laughs like crazy and acts like it's the funniest thing he's ever heard.
It's weird. First of all, what is it like to buy a company for $44 billion and then people call you a Nazi on that same thing that you bought?
I did not see it coming. It's classic.
So I blame Joe for Elon believing he's funny. Like, Joe is probably one of the only comedians that believes that. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he's also one of the worst comedians. But unfortunately, he's one of the most influential, even though at least he's not influential enough to prevent comedians from roasting Elon. I mean, some might hold back a little bit, but Tim obviously goes pretty hard, and he's been goofing on him for years. And also Shane Gillis, he's been making fun of Elon for a while now too. Like, recently somebody put together a compilation of Shane talking about Elon, and I think these clips are from around 2019.
Didn't have him.
You probably...
No, you know what's thinking probably had him?
Who did have him?
Yo, Elon Musk.
O'Connie's is what I was going to say. But
Elon Musk was in South Africa.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I'm like, Elon Musk probably had
Elon Musk was in South Africa?
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Oh, he had him.
He's like a billionaire South African.
Oh, well, that's some blood diamonds down there.
Yeah,
He was a
yeah.
mower.
Yeah.
That's why he's working so hard to build robots. He's like, well, we can't have slaves anymore. I better get some fucking robots. Or my family's going to have to work.
All the AI is just shaped like black dudes.
Yeah.
He's like, what? This is the
He's like,
prototype.
I just programmed its voice. It's like, yes, massa. He's like, that's something we're working on. That's how robots talk. Sorry.
I was watching.
He might be retarded. I think he might be tricking everybody and pretending to be an evil genius.
He is, dude. He's a fucking. Just his new idea for. I mean,
It's cool to come up with these ideas. Anybody can say this. Be like, I have a battery that's worth 1,000,000 miles.
Dude, Musk
like,
doesn't.
Let's see.
Musk doesn't play, dude. The Tesla is the best.
I'm from
electric
Missouri, dude. You got to show me first.
You're the show me
dude.
state?
I'm the fucking show me state. Teslas are for douches right now.
It's about to be.
This is
Everyone's
all the beta for the Tesla. If you drive a Tesla, you're pretty much corny.
You're paid, dude.
There's a few dogs I know that have Teslas that are
fucking
pretty
sick,
chill,
dude. Dude, Musk is the fucking man. Musk is.
We'll see.
Musk is on my level for
We'll
sure.
see. We'll see what happens with Musk.
What do you think he's gonna do?
I don't know.
And the fact that he's been getting a lot of negative press.
Something about
he's
that
a fucking
guy.
freakish genius, dude. He's been getting a lot of negative
I think
press.
he might head to the Willow world, dude.
So what? Oh, you think he's a fucking pedo?
We'll see, dude.
Musk
I
is a
might
pedo?
roll him up.
You call him Musk a pedo?
I might roll him up,
dude. You're hating on Musk.
I don't. I don't have any evidence,
but you're just
but I
trying
can
to ruin it.
look one and see one.
So I don't think Shane or Tim Dillon were ever really fans of his. So the best would be if they both went on Joe's podcast and started roasting Elon. I mean, I honestly don't think Joe could handle it. He'd probably have to scrap the podcast. He can't upset his master. But let me know what you guys think. And make sure you check out my Patreon. I recently talked about how Rogan flipped out at his comedy club because he thought a woke journalist infiltrated the green room. It's hilarious. And also last week I talked about a podcast where the host got all offended because their guests kept making fun of him and they had to tell him to stop being too mean. And I also talk a lot about how Rogan sold out and how he might be unknowingly helping Epstein clients whitewash their image with his podcast. So there's a lot to go through, over 120 exclusive videos. Make sure you check it out. They'll be linked in the description.
They call me Brian Callahan. In this cruel world there is a man you should listen to as you journey on through life. His name is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. Shoulders for days and a really wide back. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. A barrel of snakes for a bag.
You fucked up. You should have never done that song. It was terrible.
All right, so this cringe merchant we have here is Lex Friedman, who I'm sure people are somewhat familiar with, but if you're not, he's another one of these pseudo-intellectual Rogan Sphere podcaster characters who has some kind of association with MIT and has worked on AI research. But his role at MIT and some of the work he's done there has been questioned a lot, and other experts in his field have heavily criticized some of his research because he's mostly known for doing this research paper on the safety of Tesla Autopilot that was really favorable for Tesla, but was called out by a lot of other academics. And Lex's response was just to block everybody that was critical of it, and now it's almost impossible to find his research paper. But it did, of course, get Elon Musk's attention, which I'm sure was Lex's main goal with it.
It makes for a fun chat, I think. So one guy that I've talked to several times, who's slowly becoming a friend, is a guy named Elon Musk.
And because of Lex's association with MIT, AI, and Elon Musk, now some people think Lex is an MIT professor and an AI genius that works on Teslas.
Like Lex Friedman went on Joe Rogan the other day, and he's a AI genius guy. He does all the Teslas and stuff.
So he managed to leverage those credentials into getting Joe Rogan and Elon Musk's attention. Basically he's a professional Elon Musk and Joe Rogan dick rider, which can get you pretty far. I mean, he's one of the top podcasters now, but the amount of glazing you have to do is pretty embarrassing. I mean, that Joe Rogan song Lex performed felt like a humiliation ritual, but there's a lot of people competing for Rogan and Elon's attention, so you have to take drastic measures sometimes. Like when it comes to glazing Elon, it's not easy to compete with some of these people like Ian Miles Chong, but Lex, he'll give him a run for his money. I mean, these two spend so much time on Twitter just thinking of ways to praise Elon, and during this past Valentine's Day, This was really cringy. Elon, his girlfriend, posted a picture of her and their kids. And then Elon responded with like a heart emoji, and then she responded with the same thing. And then for some reason, Lex responded to both of them and said, loving this, with a heart emoji. And the comments are like, dude, this is creepy. This is so weird. What are you doing? And then also on Lex's podcast, he'll praise Elon every chance he gets. And he'll even ask his guests questions like this.
A little bit more love. What do you admire in the name of love about Elon Musk?
And Lex always says shit like this. He's always talking about the importance of love. And he just sounds so childish. Like he thinks everything can be solved through the power of love and forgiveness. Like when he had on Zelensky, he said he just needs to learn to forgive Putin. Which, no matter what side you're on there, to think that those two are going to forgive each other is just absolutely insane. But Lex acts like he lives in a fairy tale world, and whenever there's a conflict or a problem, he thinks it can just be solved with the power of love. And you can tell even the guests he has on his show think it's kind of goofy how much he talks about this. And sometimes he even has trouble keeping a straight face when he mentions it.
I gotta ask you about love.
I heard you're into this now.
Into this love thing?
Yeah. You think this is your solution to your depression?
No, I'm just trying to, like you said, the enlighten people in a cage. I'm trying to sell. But in that sense, I would say the power of love is the philosophy you might apply to Brett. Any chance you talk to Joe again and reinvigorate your friendship?
Yeah, well, I reached out to him privately when I saw that clip.
Did you use the power of love?
And in my opinion, this whole image he portrays of being all about love and understanding just seems like a facade. I mean, he tries so hard to act like he's a really thoughtful and caring person who just wants to understand everybody and their opinions and perspective.
And I'm willing to be patient, to learn, to listen, to humble myself with knowledge for the sake of knowledge itself. I try to think deeply about the world, to look for the beautiful ideas in the minds of others, and to be inspired by them.
But then he goes around blocking anybody that's even remotely critical of him, even people in the same field, AI and computer scientists. He'll block them. Even if you like the wrong tweet, he'll block you. And then also a ton of people have been banned from his subreddit. And I guess if you even ask any questions about his background or anything, you'll get banned. Like if you say he graduated from Drexler and not MIT, they'll ban you. So this doesn't really seem like somebody who's all about having conversations and understanding where people are coming from. And then also one time, Mark Norman, he told this story about how he was doing a podcast with Lex and it was at a hotel and Lex needed to print something, but the printer wasn't working. And he said Lex started yelling at the lady who was working there. And Mark sounded pretty surprised by it because obviously if you listen to Lex's podcast, he sounds very even-tempered and relaxed. And he talks a lot about love and compassion. But then if a printer breaks down, he'll flip out.
Well, what's fun is we did it in a hotel in New York. He was in town for some reason, and the printer wasn't working in the lobby, and I got to watch him yell at the lady behind the desk, and that was weird, seeing him not be that robot guy. He was like, what the hell? The printer doesn't work? Get your shit together. And some girl like, I don't know. And I want to be like, hey, that's the autistic guy.
And this part of the podcast was originally posted as a clip, like to the We Might Be Drunk clip channel, but then it was deleted, which makes me think Lex told them to delete it. So this guy's just a really strange character. I mean, he's like an enigma, and it seems like he came out of nowhere. Like somehow Rogan found out about him and had him on, and then he started his own podcast and right away had on Elon Musk. And now he's one of the biggest podcasters in the world and has on the same caliber of guests as Rogan, like Mark Zuckerberg, Donald Trump, Kanye West, and even people that Rogan hasn't had on that he probably wants to, like Jeff Bezos. And then also for some reason, Lex spent a Thanksgiving with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. So Lex's rise to fame, in my opinion, just feels kind of contrived, like he's an industry plant or something. I mean, even Ari and Mark during this podcast I just played were like, this guy just popped up out of nowhere and everybody's acting like they know him already. It's kind of weird.
Big and new, just like everybody likes Huberman, everybody liked Lex Friedman. Everyone's like, oh, I'm getting invited to my wedding. I'm like, you didn't even know it existed 4 months ago. What the fuck are we talking about?
He gets Elon Musk, he gets Tucker Carlson, he gets Rogan, he gets all these giant names, and he's just like an MIT robot.
So even Rogan's comedy friends seem to be confused about why Lex is so popular all of a sudden. Like Tim Dillon, he thought the same thing after he did Lex's podcast. And this was maybe one of the best rants from him. He did Lex's podcast, and afterwards he's like, everyone says Lex is a genius, and I'm sure he is, but what does he even do other than whack off Elon Musk? And he just starts going off on him and Eric Weinstein. And this caused Eric to have like a mental breakdown. And he went on Rogan's podcast afterwards to prove what he's done, like his life's work. And it was a complete disaster. It was so embarrassing. I covered that on Patreon. Make sure you check that out. It was hilarious. But it sounds like Rogan convinces all his comedy friends to do Lex's podcast. And they go on there and afterwards they're like, that was cool, but who the hell is that guy and where did he come from and what does he even do?
He's great. He's a genius. I can't even believe he's talking to me. And everyone says he's a genius. I don't know if he's a genius. I'm sure he is a genius. What does he do? He's a coder?
Yeah, for AI. Yeah.
Wait, so what does that even mean?
So like
Does anyone have to ask credentials anymore? Everyone goes, Eric Weinstein's a genius. Does anyone know why? What? Is there anything they've done? No, truly, because all they do is talk. Is there anything they've built? Is there one appliance that they have anything to do with? Have they come up with something even like the Rotato, which peels and slices a potato as you could? Is there one thing any of them have done except whack off Elon Musk and talk? I'm literally asking. And I love them all. And I don't, but I do. But whatever. They're funny. But I mean, and you can't find a thing they do. What is their job? What is any of their jobs?
To do research.
Into what? Why and who? Where? Where's the what? They all do research all day. What are they researching? They're just talking about trans people. They're all supposedly tech geniuses who's talking about who has a cock. I'm dead serious. And all they're talking about is if somebody's tucking a D.
So that might be his best rant. I mean, it's so funny. Like, Rogan tries to convince all these people that Lex is a super genius AI researcher, which maybe he is, but at this point, he's just a podcaster. That's the only thing he's known for. Nobody knows him outside of that. You know, people just know he's involved in AI. That's about it. And I think most people believe he went to MIT or he teaches there because he's always bringing it up, but he never went there. He actually went to Drexler. That's where he graduated from. But he never really mentions that, and he only seems to bring up MIT, I think, to sound more legit. But if he really is this super genius who's doing all this really important AI research, why is he spending so much time doing podcasts and making songs about Joe Rogan and all this other bullshit? You know, it seems like he really just wants to be famous. And some people who know him claim all he's really cared about is just gaining a following and becoming a celebrity. And I guess his strategy to do that was to convince Joe Rogan that he's some kind of AI genius and then also suck up to him and Elon Musk, which obviously worked well. I mean, Rogan promoted him like crazy and would always tell people to do his podcast. And one of the funniest moments was when he tried to convince Neil deGrasse Tyson to do his podcast. And he showed him this video of Lex playing the guitar in a self-driving car. And Neil, he couldn't have been less interested in it.
That's pretty good. Lex can shred. Give me some of that. You got to listen to this. Listen to this. Have you done Lex's podcast?
No.
You would love him. He's an AI researcher. From MIT originally. Now he's mostly doing independent work and doing his own podcast. And brilliant guy. You would love him. And he's got an amazing podcast too.
Okay, so here it's going to be in this section.
I don't think you're interested in Lex's podcast. So, seems like he's not paying attention.
What do you mean? No, hang on. I got this.
Lex,
no, thank you for the tip.
I'm trying to get him on, buddy.
I'm trying to get him in.
Lex actually is one of the most brilliant people I know. I think you would love talking to him.
For an interesting quote here from Walter Batchot.
And I'm not saying Lex is a bad podcaster, but I don't know why Rogan feels the need to tell everyone they need to go on there. You know, it's not like his podcast is that unique. I mean, it's like the same thing as Rogan's, and Lex has a lot of the same interests. He talks about the same topics, and he's heavily inspired by Rogan. So I don't know why Joe feels like all these people that just did his podcast need to go do another one with this random AI researcher nobody even knew about not too long ago. You know, it'd make more sense if he just had on tech people. But for him to have on somebody like Jocko Willink, that just doesn't seem like something that needs to happen. But I'm sure Rogan set it up and it's probably like, oh, you got to do this podcast. And then he went on there and it seemed like right away he's thinking, why am I here?
Is it tragic or beautiful to you that some of the closest bonds that have formed between people are through war often?
I think it's both tragic and beautiful, and for the obvious reasons.
What are some of the worst aspects of when you were in Iraq? What are the things that the hardest on you?
Having my guys killed. Hopefully surf if the waves are good.
Surf for?
How good are the waves?
Let's say they're good. This is a perfect day. This is a perfect waves. Why do you surf?
It's fun.
Okay. This is fun. Okay. Man and nature, which is like what surfing is the ultimate, is the power of the infinite power of the ocean versus a little silly looking man on a board.
You could say it's the infinite power of the ocean versus a silly looking man on a board, or you could say it's fun.
And Lex just really wants to be like Rogan. You know, he has a lot of the same interests. He's into jujitsu, comedy, hunting, lifting, and he'll try to convince people that he's an alpha male. Like, he hates the idea of people thinking of him as a nerd or a beta. So he has to remind people that he's an alpha and he has a Rogan inside him and he's a man's man because he likes to lift heavy objects.
Okay, so I love fighting. I've been in street fights my whole life. I'm as alpha in everything I do as it gets. And the fact that on Joe Rogan said that I thought Scent of a Woman is a better movie than John Wick put me into this beta category. Like, I'm a total bro in a sense. Like, I may not look like it, but I have like a Rogan inside me. And my dad, like, I really am a man's man. Except for the times in like Harvard Square and academia rubs off on me. But for the most part, man's man.
What does a man's man mean? May I get granular?
There's just a list of stupid shit you do. Like, I like lifting heavy things. I like building stuff. I love the idea of hunting. I love fishing. I like knives and guns and
danger.
Risk and danger, yeah.
Okay, so all like the carnal sort of...
I love fighting, combat, violence.
But not in relationships?
I mean, like, literally getting in a street fight. Just two monkeys going at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it.
The adrenaline.
The adrenaline, I'm an alpha, you know, like, I'm a badder motherfucker than you.
I'm not buying that even remotely.
I hate when... Hey,
That's
bro.
not true. Yeah, so he just desperately wants to be seen as an alpha male, and he also probably just wants to get Rogan's acceptance and approval. Like, he's always trying to impress him. But it's just embarrassing if you have to go around telling people you're an alpha male. I guess he just needs to remind people, though. You know, and he also needs to remind people that he has a PhD and he knows what he's talking about.
If you're going to criticize me about my exploration of ideas in Bitcoin, you have to also acknowledge that I'm a human being that got like a PhD in stuff. Like, I did some hard shit that it could be in farming or it could be in whatever. Like, I've lived life and I've really thought deeply and I really care. Like, I know a lot of shit, and it's possible that I actually have a lot of ideas that you can learn from. Now, if it's agriculture, fine, or if it's artificial intelligence, fine. Like, I know what I'm talking about certain...
Yeah, so I guess Lex knows what he's talking about because he has a PhD and stuff. So you could tell he's just really insecure about people not taking him seriously or not thinking he's an intellectual. Just like Eric Weinstein, who still hasn't recovered from Tim Dillon questioning what he's done. And if you want to hear more about that, I covered that whole saga over on Patreon. It was hilarious. I highly recommend it. And there are also over 120 other exclusive videos on there. It's the best way to keep up with the Rogan sphere. So if you like this channel, if you like this video, make sure you check it out. I'll put a link in the description.